Hello guys, welcome to lesson 4 of this HTML tutorial. You are still watching Code Base and I am Sunday. Okay, in our last tutorial we treated the HTML tags, elements and attributes, and we were able to uh, treat these three important topics in HTML, because we said that HTML tags is used to communicate to the browser on how you actually want your element to display. And in that last tutorial we actually saw how you can actually use your HTML tags to communicate to your browser in terms of the bold, your HR, and so on and so forth. So we also treated the attributes, HTML attributes, and we said that attributes is used to pass more information about the HTML element. Now, and we also say that you insert your attribute within the opening tag of your HTML. Now we went further to treat the HTML element, and we say that HTML element is defined with the opening tag, some content, and closing tag. And we also say that some HTML tags are self closing tags. We also have self or empty elements. Such example is image tag. We also inserted image in our image tag. We use our alternate, and we say that alternate attribute is actually used to pass information or to give information on what that particular image is all about. Maybe if your browser was not able to display the image you inserted in the website, the alternative name or alt name or attribute will actually serve as an alternative, passing information to the user on what the image that's supposed to be there is all about. If it's your logo, you can type in alternative name, alternative attribute, logo, our business logo, our company logo, or just logo. Then if that image, or you have deleted that image, or the name is not actually correct, that alternative attribute or alt attribute will serve as an alternative. Just from the name alt, you get the alternative. You can serve as an alternative name to that particular image, and it will pass the information to the user that okay, this is where our email, our logo is supposed to be. But maybe due to network, or maybe the file, has been deleted, or so on and so forth, any other issue, that image was not able to display. So this is what we treated in our last tutorial, and we also noted that HTML is not case sensitive, meaning that when you type your p tag in small letter and you also type your p tag in capital letter, it will give you the same thing. We also noted that you can actually type your p tag without an ending tag, without any ending tag, and it will work. But we say that it's not a good practice. So guys, if this is your first time coming to our YouTube channel, please kindly subscribe and turn on your notification bell. Also, if you have been watching our videos and you have not subscribed, please do so. Also, make use of the comment section to ask your question, so that we can be able to attend to all your questions. Now, if you have not watched our last video, lesson 3, HTML lesson 3, please, I advise you go and watch it before watching this particular video. It will help you to know what we treated in our last video, and it will also help you to understand our subsequent videos very well. So today we are going to be treating HTML paragraphs and headings. Under the headings, we are going to be seeing the H1, H2, H3 to H6, and we will be treating how you can able to use them in your website and how each of them displays in your website. We'll be seeing that the H1 is the highest, it has the highest font size, Y followed by H2, H3, H4 to H6. So you'll be seeing this thing in this tutorial. So kindly stay tuned. And under the paragraph, HTML paragraph, you're going to be seeing some tags. Also, there are tags like the B tag, the emphasis tag, and other tags. So these are the tags you're going to be seeing under the paragraph tags. So please kindly stay tuned as we go to the practical aspect of this tutorial. So see you guys in the practical aspect. Let's go there, guys. Please subscribe and turn on your notification bell. So see you guys there. Hello guys, welcome to the practical aspect of this tutorial. We are going to be treating the HTML headings and paragraphs. Now remember, in our last tutorial we dealt with all this you are seeing here. We treated the horizontal, the image tag, and we said that the source is where you actually put the image source, image location. And we said that alternate is just like when the source in this place is not, maybe you removed one word from that place or one letter from that place on the source name, making the source name not to be correct again. So this alternative can actually display, or maybe the network is very bad, the alternative can actually display to pass message of what the image that's supposed to be there is all about. Then we also treated the title attributes, and we said that when you write this title attribute and hover on this title attribute, on this is my, on this particular uh, element, when you hover on it, it's going to bring out the title attribute. So this is what we treated. We also said that HTML is not case sensitive. That's where we applied when you say that when you type your p tag in capital letter and small letter, it will still give you the same thing, but it's recommended, or I recommend you to start using the small letters for your tags. Today we'll be dealing with the HTML paragraphs and headings. HTML headings and paragraph. So let me just clear this from here to here. So we have our body. Remember, everything we are going to be typing should be within your body, should fall within your body. Because this is actually the body of our web page. Now let me change this title to HTML. And you know what the title will do to this particular. Okay, let me save it. This title, the HTML title, and let me go live. Click on this, go live. This can open your browser. Can see on top of this place, can see the title HTML. So that's the work of this title. Now let's start with HTML headings. Let's start with HTML headings. Okay, let me just use, if you type this in, one thing I want you to guys to know, if you type this in, it's going to display, but it's actually going to display as a normal text. If you didn't type it inside a tag, it's going to display, but it's going to display as, you can see, displaying, but it's displaying as a normal text. And there's no way you can actually style this. Maybe you want to give it a color, font size, font family. You cannot actually style this particular word because it's not inside any tag. But assuming you say p tag HTML headings, you can actually come here and add your attribute. You can add your style attribute and start styling it inside of the opening tag. But because this thing is not actually inside any tag, it's going to be difficult for you to manipulate that particular text. But it's actually going to display in your browser as a normal text. So that's one thing you guys have to note. Now let's go to HTML headings. Let me use my horizontal line to demarcate it. You have seen the work of horizontal line. Look at it. Now, inside these HTML headings are titles or subtitles that you want to display on your web page. Just like a title or subtitle that you actually want to display in your web page. And HTML elements are defined with H1 to H6. H1 to H6. HTML elements are defined with the H1 to H6. And H1 defines the most important heading, meaning that is the highest in font size. So you can use it to define your most important heading, while H6, which is the least or the lowest, can be used to define the least important heading. Now, let's take for example, let's type our H1. Remember, if you want to type it, use less than H1, greater than for opening tag, then you type less than again, slash H1, closing greater than. Get so this is how you type it if you're not using any code editor that is user friendly. But this particular one is actually user friendly. That's why if I'm typing H1, it's actually going to display the complete listing for me. For example, if I should type less than H1 space, okay, if I should type closing of it, it's actually going to display the complete, the many ones for me, meaning that this particular code editor is user friendly. Remember what I told you guys, it's important that you learn how to type these things manually. You guys, it's important to learn how to type them manually so that if you meet yourself in a tight corner, you can be able to navigate through. Okay, so this is, let's say this is H1. This H1 heading. Now I want to duplicate this, or okay, let me not duplicate this, so that let me just keep typing H2. New things. Okay, because of time, let me just copy this and paste here. Then change here to H2. Let me just, if you want to duplicate this without highlighting it, I've said it already before. You can copy, or you can just come here. Make sure your cursor is pointing here on that line you want to duplicate, or you can highlight it, anyone. Once you have highlighted it, use your shift alternate, bring it down. If you want to duplicate it up, shift alternate arrow or arrow key up, shift alternate arrow key down will bring it, duplicate it down, shift alternate arrow key up will duplicate it up. So that's it. Still, this one actually you can change this one to H3, H4. Okay, let me just highlight all of them. Click here, hold my alternate, click here also, then remove all of them and type H4. Let me click here, let me hold my alternate, click here at the back of that 3, remove it and type okay, 3. The result is already 2, so let me type extra one, H5, and say this is heading 5, and lastly H6. I will say this is H6 heading. Now let's preview our work. Okay guys, you can see how this is actually displaying. You can see how the font size is decreasing from the H1 to the H6. So that's why we say this particular H1 is actually used to define your most important heading. Get, then followed by this one, and this H6 is used to define the least important heading. Please, you should know that this font family, we call this in font family, or you can call it font face. So this font face is the fourth HTML font face or font family, which you can actually change it in your CSS. So in our CSS, you'll be seeing how you can actually change this font face. I think this should be Time New Roman also. So you can actually know how you can actually change this font face in your CSS. We're not going to be treating it here in HTML. HTML is actually used to structure your website first. You build the foundation first, after building the foundation, you can be able to put in your blocks. Your blocks are your CSS, JavaScript, PHP. So for now, we are actually building the foundation. We are structuring our website, how it's going to look like. Then after that, I'm now start styling it, putting animation, interaction, functionalities, and so on and so forth. So let's just focus on structuring our website. Then in our CSS, we're going to be treating the styling. And JavaScript, we are going to be treating the interaction, the animation, and everything. So please subscribe to this our channel if you have not subscribed. So subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss any of our updates as we progress. Now, it's important to also note that, okay, this is our H1 to H6. This is our heading, HTML headings. So it's important you can actually style this particular heading. You can actually come here and say, okay, let me add my style attribute. Remember, style attributes are added within the opening tag. So let me add and it's written by the name, which is the style. We are using style. Style is the name of the attribute, then followed by the value. Value can be, let me say, color. I want to add color to this. Color is, let me add red. Let me also add here style within my opening tag, color. Let me add green. Let me add green. Let me also okay, let me just preview this one for now. Okay, you can see this is actually displaying the color I've actually added. So you can actually style this particular stuff. You can even say, you can even add another font. You can even add a font family. You can say family. Font family. You can say, okay, let me use Franklin. Okay, let me use this first one. Yes, so you can see how it's going to, but this you're going to like, you can see the font family has changed. You get the font family has changed. You can actually change the font family. You can add, you can use your CSS property inside this particular opening tag of the H1. You get, and it's going to work. What I don't want to dive deep inside the styling, because styling is being done in your CSS. It's just for you to understand that you can actually change the font family and color in your H1. So that's why, but you cannot actually do this styling here. That's why I said this particular one will serve as a normal text. You cannot style, you cannot just say come and start saying style. No, it's not going to display, because this particular one is not inside any tag. It's not inside any tag. Please note that whenever you type any text that is not inside any tag, it's going to display. It's not going to give you any error, but it's going to display as a normal text. Okay, so I cannot be able to style this particular stuff. You cannot say come and stay here and say style, because it's not inside any uh, any tag. Because you add your attributes inside the opening tag, but this one does not have any tag at all. So there's no way you can able to add color here. Get, so that's one thing you have to note also. So these are our heading tags, H1 to H6. So that's it. So the heading is very, very important, because search engine uses the heading to index the structure and content of your web page. So this heading is used to index the structure and content of your web page. So H1 can be used for main headings, followed by H2 heading, then the less important H3, and so on and so forth. So you can use your main heading as H1, followed by H2, then the last one, the less important heading, can use your H3, H4, H5, and H6. So this is what you are going to, this is all you have to know for now about headings, HTML headings. So please, these things we are actually doing is very, very important. This is basic, because when you start building websites with HTML, maybe when we start structuring our website with HTML, and if you don't understand these things we are doing now, you will find it difficult to follow along in our subsequent video. So it's important, sorry, it's important you go through these things, you understand, you practice them, because programming is all about practice. If you don't practice, you tend to forget all these things we are teaching here. So you practice alongside with us. And if you have any question at all, please make use of the comment section. We are here to help you achieve your dream of becoming a website developer. We'll be able to attend to all your questions. And if you're not in our WhatsApp group, the link is under the description section. Join us so that we can interact together. So let's proceed. So this is all about heading. So you can see that H1 is bigger than H2, H2 is bigger than H3, and so on and so forth. So depending on what you want to type or want to display, if it's the main heading, you can use your H1. If it's the less important heading, maybe smaller heading, you can use your H5, H6, H4, and so on and so forth. So that's all about heading. Let me use my horizontal line and the bracket. Let me go to the next topic, which is you can see the horizontal line. Remember, you can also actually style this horizontal line. We did it in our last lesson where we said style. We add our width so that it can come out, sorry, our height. It can come out very well. We can say height is 3 pixels. And let me say background color. Background color should be green. Can see, you can actually style this HR, but the default color is this one. You see, this is the default color, this is the default color, so you can actually modify it to your taste. So that's it. Let me just undo this. Let me just undo it. Ctrl Z or Command Z if you're using Mac. So let's go to HTML paragraph. HTML paragraph. So guys, we are going to be treating, the next topic we are going to be treating is HTML paragraph. HTML paragraph. In our last lesson, we actually treated something like this, and we said paragraph is actually use p tag. It's actually, which is the paragraph. You get, it defines the paragraphs. P tag defines the paragraph, and paragraph always starts on a new line, and browser automatically adds some white spaces, that's a margin before and after the paragraph. So automatically, once you are making use of the paragraph, the browser has already recognized that you are making use of, you are typing your paragraph, and it should add a white space. White space means margin before and after the paragraph. So this, you can see the importance of our tag. So once you type your p tag, the browser is not going to display that opening and closing tag of our p tag. I explained this in our last video, in our lesson 2. So we said that HTML tags is used to communicate to the browser how to display our elements. So if you are typing p tag, the browser will now know, okay, this is p tag. I supposed to add a white space. White space is just like a margin before and after the p tag, and that p tag supposed to start in a new line. It's not going to be a one line with other p tags. So this what p tag can do to your website. Take for example now, let me tag, okay, let me use horizontal to demarcate this also. Let me tag my first p tag. Okay, this is my first p tag. Okay, let me save it and preview. You can see this is my first p tag. Now if I should type another p tag, okay, p tag, okay, this is my second p tag. Okay, sorry. You can see the browser has already, okay, let me just bring this one down so that's, see the same thing. Are you seeing it? So you not say that because I clicked enter, I pressed enter, That's why it came to the next line. No. As far as is p tag, it will automatically add a new line and white spaces. You can see these white spaces here. You can see these white spaces. This is margin. This is margin. It will add it before and after the p tag. If you type another p tag now, it will also add, whether you type it on the same line, but for you, for readability of your code, it's better you type it in different line. P tag. This is the third, you can say third p tag. I type this on the cell. I can see it's adding margin within and uh, after the p tag, which you can actually modify this. You can actually modify this. You can actually put this in one line if you want to in your CSS, which we are going to see that in our CSS, how you can actually modify and remove all these default margin and tags. You can see this H1 is also giving white spaces. So you can actually remove these default white spaces or margin or padding or anyone. So you can actually remove it in your CSS when you want to start styling. So you can actually do that. So you're going to be seeing that in our CSS. But for now, just know that p tag, default p tag, we add a white space or a margin before and after the p tag, before and after the p tag. And p tag displays on each line. It can display, it displays on each line. Cannot, when you type, just for example now, because I type this in on one line, it's not going to display on the same line. Rather, it's going to display on different line. So this is one thing you have to know about p tag. So that's it. And p tag does not accept spaces. It does not accept spaces. It automatically remove any extra spaces and lines when the page is being displayed. For example, let me let me copy this. Let me just duplicate this. Let me add space, two more space here and copy it, paste. Let me add another two more space here and copy it and paste. Let me add just more space and paste. Let me save this and check. You can see you will not see those extra spaces here. You get, because p tag automatically will remove any extra white spaces within the tags, sorry, within the that particular p tag. So all these spaces here, the browser will not recognize them. All these spaces as you are seeing there, the browser will not recognize them. So that's another thing you have to note about p tag. So it uh, does not it automatically remove extra spaces within the p tag. So if you like, if space reach anywhere, it's going to display normal without displaying that particular space. That spaces you gave to the p tag. So that's it. So another thing we are going to look at within this paragraph is HR, which we have been seeing this HR tag even before when we started this HTML tutorial. I've been seeing it, and this is actually the HR tag we have displayed here. So I think we have dealt much on this HR tag. So that is just a horizontal tag that you can use to draw a thematic break in your HTML page. So you can actually use to break your HTML page. You say you are done with this part, you can share HR, it will break it, and you can start typing your other tags or elements. So that's what HR is actually all about. And one thing you have to note about HR is empty tag. It's empty tag or self-closing tag, meaning that it does not have any closing tag. It only has an opening tag, which is just HR, and it's going to work. It does not have any closing tag like this. If it's our opener, we can type it like this. Uh, it does not have any opening and closing tag. Look at, well, because I said, remember I said that in some tags you can type only the opening tag and it will work, and you can also type the closing opening and closing tag to still work. So this is why this thing is actually still displaying. It's still displaying no matter we have typed a closing tag and we say that HR does not have any closing tag, and it's still displaying. So it does not stop it from displaying, but just know that it's not correct. This is not actually correct and it's a wrong practice. So just like I say that you can actually type your P like this. You can actually use only your P opening tag. This is P tag without closing tag. Okay, you can actually type it like this and is going to work. Look at it. It's going to display. Can you see it here? It's going to display. But this is not actually the right or correct practice. So let me remove it. So your HR is empty tag, meaning that it does not have a closing tag. So that's for HR. Now let's go to another one. We are going to look inside the HTML paragraph. Another one is line break, the BRO tag. This is another self-closing tag or empty tag. So we look at the BRO tag. So BRO tag does not have a closing does not have a closing tag. So let's see it in play. So let me just type okay, let me use my p tag, because p tag will actually align it in line all my content in one line. This is p tag and we are trying to test the PR tag in play. Now you can see this. Okay, this is displaying down here. You can see it here. So let me make use of this BR tag, that's break tag. Now you can see all this is lined up in one line. Just observe. I think I make error here. Okay. Just observe this now. This p tag is in one line. It's actually lines up in one particular line. Now let me use my break tag to break this particular line into two. Now let me come here. Let me say from here now, from this to R will be on the same line. Why anything I'm going to write from here now down from here on this particular place here should be on the next line. So let me break it. Let me use my break tag, that's BR tag, to break this particular thing to come to the next line. You know, p tag does not, if you are writing one p tag, just like we wrote one p tag here, it will automatically line it up. You get, unless you write another p tag, it's going to come under it and give the white spaces. But because I'm using one p tag here, it's supposed to line them up. Even if it's going to come on the same line, it's going to be when you now start, maybe you start using maybe start leave the edge of the browser depending on the screen you are using. You get, so you can now come on the next line without giving much white spaces. But because I'm using BRO tag, this has not reached the edge of the browser. This small right up now has not reached the edge of the browser, so it's not supposed to come down. But let me use my break tag to break it to come down. Now this is where your break tag comes into play. Remember, type this manually so that it can master you. Your BR greater than is how you type it. Now when you save it, this trying to prepare to test the blah, 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 to test to this play. From here, trying to test the BR tag in play, we come to the next line. So let's save and say, you can see it's going to actually come to the next line. If you want, I can actually break also. Let me also break from here. This is P tag. It will stay on one line. Let me break. Let me break. Let me break it. So, and we are will be on the same line. We'll be on one line, then trying to be in another line. You can see. So I have break. I want to break. Okay, let me also break. Okay, let me also break. Okay, let me break here. You can see. You can keep breaking it as long as you want. So this is work of this BR tag. This is break tag. So it's actually used to break, or it's actually used to draw, or so, break a line. Get can actually use to break if you want to, if you want a line break, a new line without starting a new paragraph. If you want a new line without starting a new paragraph, you can actually use your B arrow tag to break it. Yeah, so just like I say, p tag, each p tag will be displayed in a new line. So this p tag now will display, each of them will display in a new line. But if you want to use only one p tag and actually break it without using double p tag, that's when you now make use of what? Your b arrow tag. So I hope this is clear enough. So that's first, just from the name break, is going to break the paragraph or anything at all. Get whether any tag at all, as far as there is content inside it. You actually use a break tag to break it to the next line. So that's for PRO tag. So guys, the the next one, you are going to be okay. Let me say another thing about uh, p tag. Okay, the poem problem. Let me just use the poem problem. Okay, let me type something now. Let's see how this thing will display. This is the first line. Enter. This is the second line. The second line. This is the third line. And this is the fourth line. Now, can you guess how this particular text is going to display in our browser? Can you guess? Can you actually guess how it's going to be displayed in our browser? This particular text I wrote inside our p tag. Remember, we're using one p tag here. Can you actually guess how it's going to display in our browser? This is actually going to display normal. It's not going to recognize all these enter keys or enter this thing we did here. All these spaces here, it's not actually going to recognize them. It's actually going to display very well normal without all these enter or new lines. So okay, let's say check and you can see this is the first line, this is the second line, this is the third line, this is the fourth line. So it's not actually going to start coming here. If you want to now break, if okay, let's now make use our break tag to break it. Okay, if you want it to be on different lines, you get this is where you now cannot apply your break tag here. Cannot apply your break because they are saying that from here to here will be on one line. Let's check. Are you seeing it? This is our first line, one line. Now, if you want from here to be on the same one line again, you come here and add your word break tag. It will break it again. Let's check. You can see it. If you want from here again to be on the same on one line again, you save, you break it. So these things are now on different lines. You get. So, but if you remove all these break tag, if you remove all this break tag, it's actually going to display in one line because we say that our p tag does not recognize empty spaces or extra spaces you are going to give within that p tag, unless you are using two p tags. Like if I type another p tag now, if I add this particular text inside another p tag, it's going to display in another line because I have introduced another p tag. But since you are still using the same p tag, whether you give, no matter how you place your enter reach, it's still going to display normal on one line. So that's your HTML paragraph. That's your HTML p tag. But if you want it to display on different tag, on different line, you can now start adding your B arrow there. That's your break tag text, your break tag tag. So that's the thing. So you can see the power of p tag and B arrow tag. So this is how you make use of them. So guys, please, at this moment, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please hit that subscription button and turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss any of our updates, and also give us a thumbs up so I will keep doing this kind of video for you guys. So let's go to the another one. Inside is our paragraph topic we're actually treating. Remember, we started with heading, and from heading we see that heading is from h1 to h6. Okay guys, we're going to be going to the last heading or last topic for this particular video, which is the pre tag, the pre tag. So the pre tag or the pre tag elements, or can say tag. Okay, you can say tag, pro tag. Then when you start adding your content, you can now start calling it elements. So that when I say tag and say element, you don't get confused. So when I say tag, it's when I just type only it without any content, because we say that our element is defined with the opening tag, some content, and closing tag. We call all of them from the opening tag to the closing tag. We call them elements. But when you just type only the opening and closing tag, or only the opening tag for those tags that are self-closing or empty tags, you call them a tag, not element, because you have not added any content inside it. Now we're going to be treating the PRO tag. Let me use my horizontal line here. Okay, I guess you know how this thing display horizontal line. Yeah. Now let's treat our PRO tag. Or okay, let me just say element, because I'm going to be adding some content here. Let me use horizontal line to actually demarcate. Okay. Now the PRO tag or pre tag, or okay, element, pre-element, PRE element defines pre-formatted text. Pre-formatted text. Unlike our p tag, that when you type your p tag just like this, when we typed our p tag like this, and we even use enter to demarcate it when we are typing it, still when you display it in the browser does not recognize these empty spaces. It removes the empty spaces inside the uh the p tag or the p element. So but this particular pre-formatted tag or pre tag or element, you can, okay, let me just type it first. You can use opening, okay, pre, you close it. So inside this opening and closing of the pre tag, you can type your elements inside. So you can say this is my pre element. Now let me use enter. This is my pre element. It let me just okay, it preserves both spaces and line breaks. So this, just from there, it preserves the spaces and line breaks. So line breaks. So unlike this our paragraph, it does not preserve spaces. So if you give space here, it's going to combine it in one line. But this our PRE tag as pre tag or element is actually it can preserve the space. For example, all these things are going to display in one line. You can see, can you see it here? And it gives something like a padding left, up, and bottom. It gives padding around the element, and it will display them in one line. Display them inside. Uh, sorry, it display them. It breaks them in different lines. Right? To say it breaks them in different lines, unlike our p tag that actually displays them inside one line. Cannot break them unless you use your PRO tag to break the lines. So that's the work of this PRA tag. That's pre tag, which is to define pre-formatted text. And you can see the font face, this PRE tag or elements. You can see the font face is different from the default H1 or P tag font face or font family. You can see the effect. You can see the font face, the general or the default font face this thing gave it to. You get it? So this is the work of this PRE element. So it's used to somehow it breaks your words. You get it just like let me just say it can do the work of that PRO tag. You get, but you don't use it in all your. There's places you can use it. You get, so it depends on what you actually want to achieve. That's where you can actually use this PRE tag. But just know that we have PRE tag and PRE tags or elements. Let me just use element because I've already added the content here. PRE elements can actually preserve both the spaces and the line breaks, unlike the p tag that cannot preserve the spaces and the line breaks. So if you add spaces here, if you add space here and check, you can see it preserves the space. You can see the space it preserves. So unlike here now, if you come to this p tag and add space, let me add space here and check, you can see it does not preserve the spaces, but the PRE, that's the pre tag, or sorry, the pre element, preserves the space and the spaces and line breaks. So if you also come here, let me give more space here. Let me give more space here, reach here. You can see to preserve that particular space. Are you seeing it? And it gives the element a different font family or font face. So this is the work of the pre element. So guys, we are going to be stopping here in this video. Remember what we have treated today. We treated the headings and the paragraph. Under the headings, we're able to look at the H1, H2 to H6. So we also say that you can actually style your your heading text or heading elements. You can actually style them using your style attribute. And when you're adding your attributes, I've been saying it, you add it inside the opening tag of your element, inside the opening tag of your element. So this style can actually give more information, or you can use it to edit this particular element that is here. So we also treated the HTML paragraph, and inside the HTML paragraph, we treated the p tag, we treated the break tag, we share a shadow tag. We also treated the PRE tag, that's pre tag or pre element. So this is what we have treated in this video. So guys, please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please kindly subscribe to our channel do not cost you anything much. Just hit that subscription button and turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos. Please watch these videos accordingly so that you don't feel lost on the way, so that as we progress, as we go deeper, you will be able to follow along as we progress. And also use the comment section if you have any question at all in any of our video. If you have any question, please use the comment section, drop your question there, and we'll be right there to attend to all your questions. So guys, this is Code Vase, and I am still Sunday. See you in our next video. Bye for now.